Hello, my name is Ira. So, let me tell a little story. I was with a friend of mine yesterday, actually, and we were just talking, and she mentioned that she had talked to her parents about me, about how I'm trans. Yeah, but what she said next was a tad bit more interesting to me. Her parents told her that she probably shouldn't be friends with me just because I'm trans. And that got me thinking a bit. Because, for one, ow, we're just friends. But the point is, why not? And that kind of got me thinking. A lot of people fear or don't like the trans, gay, LGBTQ plus community because they don't understand us. Because they don't understand, one, how we could possibly be the way we are, and two, there's a lot of ignorance, which it's not exactly anybody's fault. It's just the reality. Of course I've mentioned it. I think I even talked about that in my last video. But it just became so much more tangible, obvious, distinct. So, I guess I want to talk about some of the things that are most often attributed to people of the LGBTQ plus community. Things that aren't exactly accurate, but are still believed. First, that it's a mental illness. Okay, sure. So, think about this. What if being part of the trans or LGBTQ plus community, it's because you have a mental illness? Okay. I mean, look at me, for example. I have mental illness. Is it because I'm gay? Is it because I'm trans? No. Am I trans because I have mental illness? Pretty sure not. Actually, I'll admit, there's a bit of a relation, but it's mostly like I'm trans and that leads to depression because it's just like a part of it. But even if it is a mental illness, it doesn't really make sense to treat us like that, to ostracize us, to make us less, other. If this is how a society treats their mentally unwell, then that's a pretty messed up society. Me personally, I do not believe that being trans is a mental illness. Why? Because I'm trans. And do I sound mentally unwell? Don't answer that. But it's not like we are going to just fly off the hook, suddenly turn violent, start hurting people. Yes, there are people who will do that. But also, there are plenty of people who aren't gay, or trans, or bi, or whatever else, who are also just terrible human beings. I mean, seriously, some people are just jerks. The trans community isn't different. The LGBTQ plus community, it's not like we're not people anymore. No matter what some individuals want to try and believe or say. We're still people. There are some of us who deal with anger issues. There are some of us who deal with depression, Actually, a lot of us deal with depression, but that's just like humanity in general. According to my research, which includes, hey, you depressed? Me too. Let's be depressed together. Yeah, good times, good times. The point is, even though there are genuinely bad people, no matter what community you are a part of, that doesn't mean the community at large is filled with bad people. So, do you really think that's a good idea to separate yourself from a community, to just not interact with them, not learn about them, not understand them? Do you believe that's a good idea? I don't. Name one community, one group of individuals where it's not a good idea to learn about them, to understand them, even on a superficial level. Understanding people. Understanding drives away fear, I think. You can still dislike them, you can still not agree with them, but I believe that it is a good idea to understand people. As being autistic, understanding people is not easy, not for me. And it's taken me a lot of effort to try and understand people. And I think it's a waste when others who are normal in that regard don't try to understand others. It seems like a waste because you are wasting any type of understanding that there could have been. Just being gay is not a mental illness. You can have mental illness, but they're not the same thing. They're separated. One can lead to the other, but they're not equivalent. Being trans can lead to mental illness, but it, of itself, is not. Because if you say that being trans is a mental illness, then you kind of open up a lot of fun little arguments like, well, is it a mental illness to want to be feminine or masculine? To see some desirable traits in the opposite gender? I mean, just that whole argument, it just kind of leads into a minefield of, well, there's an argument here, an argument there, an argument there. Where does it end? Long and short of it isn't a mental illness. It's just something we were born with. Like autism, or 6 fingers on the right hand, or perhaps an affinity for math, or a high IQ. We're not wrong, broken, we're just different. And just different. Yep. I'm gonna step down from my soapbox. That's really all I have to say. Hope you enjoy. See ya. Bye.